All right, so hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Bobby Lynn Kekik, and I'm the Executive Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding. And I'm joined today with one of my fabulous colleagues. So I'm going to pause for a moment so she can introduce herself.
Hey everyone, my name is Caroline Horn. I'm the Associate Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us today so that we can talk a little bit about our new Falcon experience. So now that you or your student have deposited, you've waited a little bit of time, it is finally your chance to begin this new Falcon experience, which is our undergraduate onboarding process. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today sharing what the next steps look like for you, and then we will open it up to some questions as a just a little bit of some tips before we get started. We do record these sessions because we are pretty lucky that we have quite a global group of folks who are joining us. And with that, it means we would never find a time that would work for everyone. And whether that is folks joining us from across the world, if folks might be taking other classes right now, or working or caring for someone at home, we recognize that we want to have this resource available for all of our students and family members. So this is being recorded. If you are viewing this live, we will have a chance for you to ask us questions towards the end. But if you are viewing this as a recording, please feel free to reach out to us using our new Falcon question form, and we'll make sure to help you get that answer. So, what is our new Falcon experience? Our new Falcon experience encompasses a few different milestones or cornerstones of this onboarding process. So, we recognize that there's a lot of information and a lot of steps to get to the point where our students are on campus. And so, we really try to take a layered approach where we can provide some information with support and really work to prepare our students and families to begin this journey here at Bentley. So a few of the pieces that you're going to learn about today is our new student checklist and our new Falcon Experience website, Bentley Beginnings, which is our online orientation program that both students and families can participate in, our academic overview and course registration, our new Falcon Nestworking engagement series and social media, and our family resources and live chats. And of course, the biggest piece, our spring orientation, which is when we get to have our new students and families, if you're able to travel with your student, here on campus and just really kickstarting this journey together. The goals of our programs are really centered around a few key components. So, our community, our values, academics, engagement, and tradition. How do we ensure that our students and our family members understand what our values are as an institution? How are they welcomed into our academic community? How are we engaging in social, educational, and cultural programs to really enhance your overall experience? We recognize that there are many components to our community members and want to ensure that you have outlets to be able to connect in all of those areas. And most importantly, we want to introduce you to our Bentley traditions and understand how you can be a part of what these traditions and this Bentley story looks like moving forward. Our new student checklist is really where you're going to start engaging in some of this work. With any new chapter and new transition, there are some logistical pieces that come with it. And so there are some tasks that we're going to have you complete prior to your arrival on campus. Now, these checklist items can be found in Bentley Connect, which is the portal that you've been using through the admission process. You'll have a checklist that will pop up starting next week, and you'll be able to start completing these tasks. Additionally, you'll see this information on our new Falcon Experience website and also in our quick guide. So we really tried to make sure that we could put the information in a few different formats and be able to be accessed in a few different ways so that folks are able to get the content and feel like they can move forward in completing these tasks. As I mentioned, it is located in your Bentley Connect portal. And as a reminder, Your Bentley Connect login is the personal email that you have been using throughout the admission process. What we do find sometimes is that folks may have been using an email from their high school institution or a previous college. And so, if that is the case and you did not change that and no longer have access to that email, you are able to reach out to us and we can go ahead and reset that. But once you actually get into Bentley Connect, we highly encourage you to change it to your Bentley email because then you're only having to remember one login for all of your Bentley accounts. And if you're having trouble with setting up your Bentley email throughout this process, our dedicated help desk is wonderful and they can help to support any of those questions.
All right, so now we are going to talk a little bit about what the different tasks are on that new student checklist. So now and over the next few weeks, students will be able to set up their Bentley email account and also review our New Falcon website and the New Falcon Quick Guide. In December is when a lot of our deadlines start to be due. So our online orientation program will be due at the beginning of the month. Our critical reading and writing essay is due towards the middle of the month, as well as the math selection survey. The housing and meal plan contract and application will go live in November and will be due in December for our students who are hoping to live on campus to be able to submit immunization and health records. And if students reach out to their family members for support on this, they may ask you to help with some of that information that they may need to submit that task. For our workday onboarding tasks, there are a few of them that students do need to complete. And then we hope that students will review the new student advising and registration website as they prepare for course registration that will take place in January. For our January tasks, if students have completed some AP courses, they can submit the advanced standing and transfer credit information in January. They can continue to review that new student advising and registration website. They will be able to register for spring courses at the beginning of the month. Students will also be presented with their student bill during this time. And if you would like to set up third-party access to see your student's bill, they can work with you to set it up in Workday. And there will be some additional instructions on our website for you to complete that. Our Falcon card photo ID can be submitted in January. Students can pay their student bill, enroll and waive health insurance, complete self-guided learning courses, which we'll talk a little bit more about throughout this session. They will move into their res hall and then participate in that in-person orientation program. And one component of the checklist is completing our online orientation program. And so this is an online program really intended to introduce you and your student to Bentley. It includes resources, information, and announcements for new students. They are able to personally keep track of those new Falcon tasks, and this will be due December 2nd this year. And so this program really provides important information for students to prepare for beginning their journey at Bentley, and it covers content about academics, student life, well-being, our core values, and how students can maximize their time here at Bentley. And family members are able to view this by setting up a guest account at orientation.bentley.edu. The next piece is new student registration. And so our undergraduate advising team has created pre-registration videos and a website for students to review prior to course registration taking place in January. So these important dates for students are the registration date, which is January 9th, and then during our orientation program, likely on the Friday of orientation, students will be able to get on-site registration support should they need to make any updates to their schedule before classes. And then we will have some ways for students to really connect with each other and with current students through our Welcome Falcons Instagram account. So if you haven't followed us yet, make sure that you are following that. We have a lot of different updates and events happening through that Instagram account. We will also be sending out weekly New Falcon news every Tuesday to new students. So that newsletter will have all the different information about upcoming checklist items. We'll give them a glimpse into Bentley life. So that will be sent out beginning at the end of October through orientation. So really making sure that your students are reviewing that each week. We have a new Falcon Nestworking series where students are able to really connect with fellow Falcons. They can ask questions, they can win different Bentley prizes, and we will be sharing that information on Instagram and Facebook for students to really begin to engage with our community prior to starting in January. And then we also have a new Falcon Experience app, which we use our campus groups involvement platform for. And on campus groups, students will be able to connect with different Bentley resources. There is a feed where students can really connect with each other, and it will start to be available at the beginning of November for students.
Wonderful. And we also have some great resources for parent and family members that we wanted to share with you. So, starting now, families are able to view our new Falcon Experience website. This really walks through, in a very digestible way, all of the different components of what we are sharing with you today. So, I know that Caroline walked through many of the checklist tasks, and while it may feel slightly overwhelming right now, we really do want you to know that we are here with you every step of the process for you, for your student. If we have baby Felks with us on this call right now, please know that we are here to help you navigate through this. And so, this website is a really great resource to help to demonstrate what are the deadlines, where do you complete the tasks, what are some of the additional resources that are helpful in completing those tasks. As Caroline mentioned, we also have our online orientation program. We do highly encourage our family members to view that because it gives a really good foundation to what are the resources here at Bentley and how can you help to empower and support your student through that. We also have a student affairs video series. So this is available on our website. And if there are specific departments or areas of interest, you can click on those links and then learn a little bit more about what do those resources look like for our students and how can families help to support that. In addition to the New Falcon News, which is what Caroline talked about, which is our weekly newsletter that will launch to our students starting on the 22nd, I believe. We will also send out a monthly newsletter to families. This will provide you with some tips and information of how you can support your students. But that New Falcon news will also be available on that New Falcon Experience website. So if you are curious as to what students are receiving, or want to have some of that to help provide just some tips and information on conversation to have with your student, you will have access to that. And on the website, we still have our newsletters up from this past summer. So if you just want to start to get a sense of what some of that information is, you are welcome to start looking at that now. We will have a variety of Falcon live chats. So you are in one right now. This is our Zoom webinar series, which allows us to highlight different offices and resources. We record all of these sessions. So if you are unable to join us live, as a reminder, you will be able to access those through our YouTube channel and continue to view those. Students are welcome to join those sessions, but we really do host those predominantly for family members because for our students, we will engage through social media and we'll do some lives just to try to meet them where they're at. In December, you can expect another newsletter and some continued live chat series. And then as we start to get into orientation week and support beyond orientation, we will have welcome receptions during that orientation week, more information and a formal invite to come. And then as we start to think about life beyond orientation, we want to ensure that our family members are still supported. So we do have a few sessions that are already set up. that we would highly encourage you to participate in. One is around engagement. How are your students making the most of their time here at Bentley? We'll also do a virtual workshop for family members, spend a little bit more time with some of the support resources that we offer for students, and also some of the academic support that exists. And then the other session that we currently have on the docket is our housing selection session, where we share with family members a little bit about what housing selection looks like now that your students are currently on campus. And if your student is commuting and considering maybe living on at another point, this is a great session so that you're able to learn a little bit more about what that process looks like. And just to give a little bit more insight into these Falcon Live chats, as we mentioned, those will be kickstarting off in November. We will do another version of this deposited now what, because we will continue to have, especially our transfer population, start to deposit a little bit closer to that November deadline. We will also cover some topics around funding and financing your students' education, living on campus, um, getting prepared for the start of the semester. What does orientation look like? What can your students expect? And those other sessions, as I mentioned. And as a reminder, we do record these sessions. Highly encourage you to be with us live if you're able. But if you are not, then we would love for you to view those resources. And again, if you'd like to share this with students, please feel free to, but we will be continuing to share this content through other media.
And as we get closer to the orientation program in January, we will have some self-guided learning courses that your students will complete. So we have one on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have one on alcohol, EDU, and sexual assault prevention. And so students will get more information about this in December, and those will be due in January. For our orientation groups, we do have a virtual orientation group meet and greet taking place right before orientation begins. So this is a chance for your student to connect with their orientation leader and orientation group prior to arrival on campus. And it's just a fun time for students to start making those connections before either they move onto campus or they're coming to campus for orientation. And then we will have more information on dates and times for our international student welcome and move-in and our new student orientation program over the next few weeks. So make sure you look out for that information on that mid-January orientation program.
Wonderful. And please know that we are going to open it up to questions now. But just as a reminder, if things do come up throughout the process, which we anticipate they will, we want to make sure that you're feeling supported. We have a wonderful resource that really centralizes our support. So it's called a New Falcon question form. Students can submit this form using their Bentley login, but family members can also submit a form without using a login. And what this allows is for your question to come into the system. We can ensure that it's going to the appropriate office or department so that we can get you that answer. It kind of takes some of the guesswork out of who do I actually have to reach out to? And we help to support you in that moment. In the event that you are uncertain who to reach out to and don't find that form on our website, you are always welcome to email us or give us a call, reach out to us on social media. You will continue to hear from us multiple times where we will provide these contact bits of information. So please know that you can always find us, and we want to make sure that we can continue to support you and your students as we're navigating this process. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and open it up to any questions that folks may have. And we hope that you are eager to ask some of those questions because we're happy to answer them. And so that folks know how to submit those questions, there should be a little box on the bottom of your screen that says Q&A. And if you go ahead and post a question in there, either with your name or anonymously, we can go ahead and answer those questions now. Well, Carolyn, I think we just did such a great job of sharing all the information. um, we'll share a few tips, and then if there are questions that come up, please feel free to post those in the Q&A. But just reiterating, we are here throughout this process. You will be hearing from us, other campus partners, and we have a fabulous student leader staff. I think so much of this process is about our incoming students being able to connect with current Falcons and really being able to see what their life can look like um, coming and being a student here at Bentley. We also recognize that we have students coming in with a variety of lived experiences and academic experiences in our January cohort. So that might mean that some students are currently taking classes at another institution. And so when they're coming to Bentley, they may have had some experience at another college or institution, and that's great. We might also have some folks that are taking a gap semester, so they've been traveling or doing service or working, and all of this is valuable as we connect in with our cohort this January to really get to know one another and see what this environment can look like. Other folks that will be a part of this program are our transfer students, so students who have done at least another semester, if not more, at another institution. And then we also have exchange students who are joining us from other institutions across the globe. So we have a really diverse group of people who will be here during January. And I think sometimes when folks are coming in the January program, they might be a little nervous of how am I getting involved? How am I maximizing my time? And we've really intentionally built in opportunities for students to have a lot of one-on-one time. So something that's really unique about our January program is that each group gets at least two orientation leaders, whereas in the fall, there's only one orientation leader. And so this allows for students to already be more connected with upper class students. We get to do a lot of different sessions, both, workshop, academic, social, just fun sessions together with that full group and really have a lot more one-on-one time. Additionally, each semester, regardless of when a student starts, we host an activities fair. So this means that no matter when your student is coming in, they have the ability to learn about the different clubs and organizations and events. So that way they can just jump right in as soon as they're here, whether that is the fall or the spring semester. So if that's anything that feels like a little bit of a sense of worry, please know that we work really intentionally to ensure that our students are connected right from the start, regardless of the semester that they're beginning here at Bentley. But we are happy to continue those conversations with families and students as you start to get closer. We really try to make sure that our students are feeling connected and supported and a sense of belonging as they're navigating this process. And we want you to experience that too as a family member. We recognize that our incoming students have been with you much longer than they have been with us. And so we really do look at this as a partnership and wanting to help to provide information to our family members so that way they can help to be great ambassadors to this work. We will have many faculty, staff, and peer leaders who will be sharing this information as well. But if they are going to you and looking for some additional support, which I presume they may, we want to make sure that you have that information as well. So with that being said, I'm not seeing any additional questions. I want to just invite you again, as you continue to navigate this process, please reach out to us, use that new Falcon question form. On the 14th, we will be sending out an email to students and family members that will link in some of these resources that we've referenced. So that quick guide, the new Falcon Experience website, our Instagram, our email, that new Falcon question form. It really packages it into one nice email for you. And then that way you can start engaging in some of this work and some of this content. So please look out for that communication, which will launch on the 14th. And then please do come to some of our upcoming events and sessions. And we look forward to seeing you soon in January. If you're able to join your student on campus, look forward to meeting you. And if not, we look forward to meeting you in the virtual space. But Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. We're so grateful that you and your students have chosen Bentley, and we look forward to spending more time with you over the upcoming months and years to come. So thank you so much and take care.